Welcome to Interactive Speaking 12. I'd like to ask you a few questions about the environment. What local environmental issue do you consider most urgent, and why?
In my immediate area, I believe that urban air pollution is the most critical issue we face. This is primarily due to the high volume of traffic and a lack of green spaces to filter the exhaust fumes. It's urgent because it directly impacts the respiratory health of the elderly and young children. Without immediate improvements to public transit and local air quality, we risk long-term health crises for the entire community.
Interesting. I've got a different question. How can schools encourage students to reduce waste without creating extra costs?
Schools can effectively encourage waste reduction by implementing student-led sustainability committees. These groups can audit the school's trash and find creative ways to reuse materials, which costs nothing but time. Furthermore, shifting toward a paperless classroom by utilizing digital platforms for assignments and grading significantly cuts down on waste. It's about fostering a culture of mindfulness rather than investing in expensive recycling technology.
I see. I have another question. Do you think personal choice matter more than government policy for environmental change?
While individual actions are important for raising awareness, I believe government policy is far more significant for achieving real change. Personal choices are often limited by convenience or cost, whereas legislation can force entire industries to adopt sustainable practices overnight. For example, a government ban on single-use plastics has a much larger impact than a few individuals choosing to carry reusable straws. Policy creates the framework for mass participation.
Thanks for discussing the environment with me. Now I'd like to change the topics and ask you questions about recycling. What recycling practices could work better in crowded neighborhoods with limited space?
In densely populated areas where space is limited, we should implement centralized smart collection hubs rather than individual bins for every household. These hubs can use compacting technology to store more material in a smaller footprint. Additionally, implementing a frequent valet-style recycling pickup service can prevent sidewalks from becoming cluttered. This makes recycling accessible and organized even in the most cramped urban environments.
Interesting. Let me ask you another question. How should communities handle items that are difficult or costly to recycle?
Communities should handle difficult items by partnering with manufacturers through extended producer responsibility programs. This ensures that the companies creating the waste are also responsible for its disposal. On a local level, hosting quarterly special collection days allows the community to pool their resources and transport hazardous or bulky items to specialized facilities efficiently. This prevents these materials from ending up in landfills where they could leak toxins.
Thanks, I have got a different question. Would incentives or education be more effective for increasing household recycling participation?
I would argue that incentives are generally more effective for immediate results, while education is crucial for long-term habits. Providing tangible rewards, such as discounts on utility bills or small tax rebates, gives people a clear reason to prioritize recycling in their busy lives. However, these incentives should be paired with clear instructions so that the participation is not only high but also accurate. Ultimately, a reward system jumpstarts the behavior that education eventually turns into a lifestyle.